Hey, good morning. It is Saturday the 12th of March, a week before spring, roughly. I am out kind of kitty corner to where I was a couple of weeks ago underneath the boardwalk. There's the other side of the road, obviously, a big road. And we got some words from local residents that this area is a real mess in here, underneath the boardwalk heading up towards I-90 and around it. So I'm going to see what I can get to. The blackberries are really thick here, and yeah, it might not be nice. So we'll see how much I can get. If I can't really get in there, then I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. There's lots of other places to pick, but I'm hoping I can at least pick around the edges and find a way in underneath the boardwalk like I did last time. And then most of the stuff you can reach from once you're underneath the boardwalk, but depends on the blackberries again. So anyways, we'll give it a try this morning, and I'll let you know how it goes in a little while. I'll catch you in a bit. Bye. Okay, it's about 11:30. I'm wrapping up here. We got 4 bags plus in one spot and 3 bags in another, and a big old chunk of tire. But so here's the 4 bags I got here. That was mainly coming down this side of the boardwalk and doing that area there, and underneath a little bit, and a little bit on the other side. And then the 3 bags, I'm gonna walk and talk as I do this. Get back to where I parked. Sorry, get back to where I parked. And you can see that this side's a little harder to pick. It's blackberries chopped up and lots of stuff. But this is not quite as bad as the other side of the road where I was picking a couple of weeks ago in terms of sheer volume. It's still difficult to get in and out of there. There are times I wish I was about 3 feet shorter, because this boardwalk is only about 4 feet high in places, and it would be nice to be able to walk upright the whole time, but that's not going to happen in here. So finds of the day. Found this, a cane. Sorry, I have to edit that. Anyways, found a cane. You know you're in a spot that hasn't been ever picked before when you find a CD player. A portable CD player, like a CD Walkman type thing. For those of you who are my age, you understand what that means. So that was down in the brush down here. So I was able to get to some of this stuff. I didn't quite get this whole side finished here. Ran out of a little bit of energy and a lot of water. It's warm today. It's in the 50s or 60s, and yeah, it's pretty warm. So I got to finish up on this side and down along here as well, which is going to be just nasty. Steep slope, lots of blackberries, no road access. So that's this block. I'm gonna head over to the other side of the street here and catch up on what the real problem is. And I'll set my stuff down here across the street and just show you what we're facing, and we'll have to figure out how we're gonna do it. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so this is the other pile of stuff that I had. 3 bags there. A little piece of chunk of truck tire. So now this is the other boardwalk, and give you a glimpse of the side. It goes down here. This is probably a 5 or 6 foot rock wall here. I'm gonna need a ladder to crawl down or climb down into that, and it only gets better because over on this side it's steep. There's lots of room under the boardwalk, but the water's deep. And the blackberries and these other bushes, whatever they are, thorn bushes of some sort, you can see it's just mud down here. Now, it doesn't look too bad right here. But if you come over here to this side, you see, okay, there's a little more, but now the blackberries get really, really bad. And you're looking at a solid 4 foot thick wall of blackberries, and I don't know if you can see it, but down underneath that, underneath the blackberries, is where the garbage has been stacking up for years maybe there's entire garbage bags full of stuff down there, and I'm probably moving too fast for you to see it, but you just look. I'm hoping that because all the greenery is up here on the top of the wall, trying to get sunlight, that down below there's a gap underneath the boardwalk where we can get in and use the pickers to kind of get as close as we can underneath there and get into this stuff. So then you come back over here again and you see water, and oily water at that. So there's, I don't know what's all in there, but there's garbage bags full of stuff. People are just throwing garbage bags over the side. I picked up 2 garbage bags full of stuff just on top of the boardwalk as I was walking up here. A little tiny bit off the sides, but where I could reach it, but people had just stacked up garbage bags up here and left them. I don't know how long they've been up here, but it was pretty rotten stuff. And so this goes on for a bit. Now we're into reeds and cattails, and you can see down here again, down at the base of all these plants is all this garbage, and it's either going to be reaching in from the bottom, from underneath this thing, or, and I don't know that we could even do this, but somehow go through with a brush trimmer, hack everything back or down. We'd have to haul all the branches out, because once you hack the branches down, they're going to fall down onto the garbage and you'll never be able to get in and out of this. And it gets worse the farther you go on this way. You just see years of garbage down here. And like I said, when you're finding CD players, you know it's been years. And then down here, more wetlands, really wet ground. So it's going to take a ladder in some places to get in and out of these areas. It's going to take oh, this is a good spot here. So now here the brambles aren't too bad, but this is just nasty. Like, there is not a square foot of ground down here that isn't covered in litter. And so we'll be able to get into this one by throwing a ladder. Only 2 ladders, one to get up over the rail and one to get down the other side. And going down the other side is it's probably 6 feet, 7 feet at least. And yeah, we'll need a pretty good one so that we don't get stuck over there. That would be a fear. But for every one of these spots that you can find that you can get into, you can kind of, if you can work underneath the boardwalk, you can kind of get a little more covered going up the sides. And then you get into areas like this, where there's not a lot of garbage because the blackberries are so thick nobody can fit the garbage in. And then there's a spot where the county did come through, or the state came through and knocked the brambles back, the blackberries back, but they also chopped up the litter. So we have to get in here, and it's a steep side. Like, you'd be on your balance all the time down in here, and that's what takes it out of me personally, is trying to maintain my balance while I'm picking. And you get into areas like this, and there's a hole in the fence right here where we can get in and out of, but it's still 5, 6 feet down. Shopping cart down here, we'll get that out. Some of these rails have been replaced, so I kind of want to get in here before they replace the rails, because it's my only access for these areas without going all the way over top. And now you can see dropping down here is more like 15 feet to 20 feet, and it's just covered with stuff. So ideally we could bring, oh my goodness, I hadn't even seen this. So literally somebody has been dumping bags and bags of trash over the side here. Now it's not just a problem of getting to it, it's how do you get it out of there. Once you've picked it up, those bags, those wet bags, are gonna weigh 15-20 pounds at least, maybe even more, and they're not coming out like they are right now, so we'll have to rebag them. So we're going, and carrying them up a ladder one at a time is going to be exhausting. So you need multiple people here. You need some type of rope and carabiner to pull them up. Oh my goodness. So I'll just keep walking down here because there's even more. This is, I honestly don't know if this is an area that Trash Mob should do, because it's technical. It's not an area where we can get people in and out of quickly that don't do this all the time. And there's going to be so much that it's going to take so long to get in and out of this. Oh my goodness, even farther down here it's even worse. So you can see that, whoops, got a sliver on me. You can see that there actually been people living down in here. Like, this is an old homeless camp down here. There's clothes, there's garbage. They're coming in from the road there, I guess, and working their way down. So that's a few hours of work right there. And finding a way to haul it all out. And I'm not sure what the water situation is down here, but this is going to be a lot of work. So we're almost down to the end here, and this is one block. And you know, I was picking up on another block just because it was a little easier today to get started, and I didn't have the tools to get down into here. There's a little path here, and there's somebody, I think, living underneath the boardwalk here. But there's just more and more garbage down here. And down in here, there's all kinds of stuff that have been thrown in here. So, and like I said, there's at least one camp underneath here, if not multiple ones. So anyways, that's a project. Now the other thing that we'll be fighting here is that it's starting to warm up. And while that's great, nice weather gets more people out, the blackberries start coming back to life. And in, let's see, we're mid-March right now. By the end of May, anything that's been chopped down and chopped back is going to have leaves on it. It's going to be growing. It's going to be nastier to walk through, because right now, if you're stepping on 2-year-old blackberries, they're brittle, they break. But if you're stepping on last year's blackberries, they'll still get you pretty good. And this year's blackberries, once they get growing, there's no give to them. Like, they're too green, and you're not going to be able to break them and get them out from underneath your feet. They're going to wrap you up and take you down. Been there, done that. So we've got a couple of months to get in underneath this thing and get it cleaned up. And the downside is with doing that is that if I'm spending every weekend out here doing this spot, then all the other spots that I have been maintaining are less likely to get done. And not to say that I won't get out and do them. It's spring forward tomorrow, which means that I can actually go out after work instead of working out and do some picking. So, and you know, if it's a light load a day, then, you know, if I'm picking in my own neighborhood, 1 bag, 2 bags maybe, it's not so bad. I keep on top of a couple areas, you know, through the evening hours instead of having to dedicate my weekend time to that. So, but the key is going to be getting a lot more people out here to do this, because there's some real safety issues here. Getting stuck, getting trapped down in an area where you can't get the bags out by yourself. You need somebody to help haul them up. So we're gonna have to work on that. We'll get some people recruited, and get more people coming out to these things. This one's gonna be a challenge. If we get this one done this spring, that would be a heck of a thing, honestly. We'll see what we're able to get to. But for today, I'm going to call it. And the next time I come out here, I'll bring a ladder, at least, so I can get into a couple of the areas. I'll bring a shorter ladder, one that I've used before on picks, and just see how much I can get from that. I'm gonna look into, honestly, I'm gonna look into either rubber boots or waders, because these boots are good, they're waterproof, but they only come up to my ankles, and we're gonna be in some water here that's gonna be at least shin deep, if not deeper. And there's always a chance of getting stuck in the mud too, because the mud's got some pretty good suction to it. Anyways, that's it for today. I'm gonna call it. Have a good weekend. Tomorrow we're expecting an inch of rain, so I doubt I'll be out. We'll see. If it's not pouring rain, if it's just drizzling, I'll come out. But if it is raining too hard, I'm not coming out. I got so much stuff to do for Trash Mob, for the organization, for the website, that I just can't. I can't give up a lot of time right now until we get this thing launched. We got 3 or 4 weeks to go, and we'll have a big launch, and then there'll be lots more going on. So, anyways, have a great day. Have a great weekend. I'll catch you later. Bye.